Hey guys, it's Mr. Dugal, and today we're going to talk about inverse operations. And when we think of operations, we think of order of operations, which would be PEMDAS, which at this point we should be familiar with. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. We've heard a good way to remember this before as "please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." So we're talking about the different things you can do in math. So you have parentheses, you have exponents, you have multiplication and division, and we have, of course, addition and subtraction. And these are ordered from greatest to least, starting with parentheses, in terms of the level of power they have in a problem. In other words, if we have parentheses present in the problem, division and addition, no matter the order that they come in, I must do parentheses before I do a division, before I do addition. So that's operation. Inverse, the word inverse just means the opposite. So inverse operations, we're going to write our order of operations backwards. So in this case, it's addition and subtraction, multiplication and division, exponents and parentheses. And basically, when it comes to algebra involving any variable, a variable is simply a letter or a symbol used to represent a number. So we have y, x, n, and g in this case. We're going to use inverse operations. We're going to do everything exactly backwards, opposite. So in my first problem, I have y minus 5 equals 9. So I only have one operation, and that is subtraction. I told you that we're going to do everything backwards, so instead of subtracting, we're going to add. So where we see a minus, we have a minus 5, we're going to add 5. Minus 5 plus 5, those two would cancel. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm left with 14 on the right side and y equals 14 on the left. That is my answer. So that's what I'm doing on all of these. So I'm going to again write out ASMADEP to get me started. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponents, parentheses. In this case, when a number is just touching a variable and there's no operation listed, that means I actually have multiplication present. I'm going to do exactly the opposite. I'm going to divide. So where I see my multiplication right there, I'm going to divide. 5 divided by 5 is just 1, so I'm just left with 1x. On the other side, I divide as well, because what I do to one side, I must do to the other. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 1x, or just x, equals 9. Continuing down this path, I'm going to set it up for my next one. I want you to visualize what should I circle here, and then what should I actually do. Okay, the operation that I have present is addition. What I'm actually going to do is subtraction, the inverse operation. I'm going to do this wherever I see addition. I see plus 11, so I'm going to minus 11. 11 minus 11 obviously is 0. I'm just left with n on the left side. Whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. 24 minus 11 is 13. N is 13. On my last equation here, let's set up ASMADEP. Again, I want you to think through what operation do they give me, and what inverse operation should I perform. They give me division. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply where I see the division. So 3 divided by 3 here is going to cancel. I'm just left with 1g. On the right side, since I multiply to the left side, I got to multiply to the right. 12 times 3 is 36. G is 36. So as we get into inverse operations, instead of PEMDAS, I want us to start to get familiar with ASMADEP. And that will help us moving forward in algebra. Thanks so much.